stop me now, they won't stop me now, they won't stop me, no. They won't stop me now, they won't stop me now, they won't stop me, no.
You are tuned in to We Are Mighty with me, LaTanya Cross, a.k.a. Mighty's mama. Who is Mighty? Well, Mighty was my amazing son, Miles, who unfortunately was taken away from us way too soon at the age of 24, a victim of gun violence, who gave me an unavoidable, unimaginable, unbelievable, unwanted new role in life of a grieving mother. Even though it was July of 2023, yes, I am still a grieving mother. And I believe probably for the rest of my life, that will be a role that I fulfill because I'm always grieving. And the purpose of this podcast is just for you to join me in this journey. If you are on a similar journey, hopefully to encourage you, hopefully to let you know that you're not alone, and hopefully to help you out a little bit. So how y'all been? It's been a nice couple of weeks. It's getting cold in my neck of the woods in the Midwest, but it happens every year, so I'm not surprised. I find it funny when people are like, oh, it's cold, it's snowing. It does it every year. So you might as well be ready for it or leave, which everyone complains about every year, but they seem to be here to complain about the snow the following year. So you got to live with it. So what would y'all like to talk about today? You'd have to email me for me to get those topics. So wearemighty24@gmail.com. Like how I did that, switching it up just a little bit. So it's November, which means soon Thanksgiving will be here. And of course, I'm dreading it. This isn't my first Thanksgiving without my son, but the holidays in general can be difficult. And with my family this year, it seems like things are harder than they were in the first few months after losing Miles, and everybody's just, for the first time, doing their own thing. And I think part of it is because it's just hard. It's hard to do the traditional things that we all did, everybody coming together, because we know something's missing. Someone's missing. And it's a huge hole. It's a huge emptiness for us. And so for the first time, we're all trying some different things. I don't know how long this will last. I don't know if we're starting new traditions, but this is going to be an interesting holiday season, I believe. That's one of the things about grief. Like, your emotions are just unpredictable. That's the best way to describe it, because you would think something would trigger you, and that one thing may not. And then things that you wouldn't expect to trigger you, they do unexpectedly. I saw a social media post that said grief is so sneaky. It can be a smell. It can be a sound. It can be anything to trigger those emotions of pain, of hurt, of anger, of whatever it is that you're dealing with related to your grief. And it's hard because I'm one who used to have my emotions pretty much in check. And I try to, but there's just times when I can't even believe that I am having a moment or a trigger from just a conversation. My husband and I were talking about cars one day, and we were talking about how we are setting up our cars for the winter. You know, the cars that we drive, we want to have them in the garage so that they don't get the inevitable Midwest snow. And right now in our garage, one of the spaces is taken up by Miles's car, and it's been there for a year. And just in talking to my husband about parking vehicles in the garage, before I knew it, I was in tears. And of course, he's confused and wait, what happened? What'd I do? He didn't do anything. I was just thinking about Miles' car. Did the situation happen in his car? No. As a result of it, his car keys were lost. And so the car can't be moved. We had to have it towed to our house. And so it sits in the garage, and I can't bear to move it. I can barely look at it. But I have my moments where I may just go and sit in it. And even those moments, I can be fine 1 minute and lose it the next. I guess I didn't think his vehicle, an inanimate object, would be such a hard thing for me to look at or deal with or even be around sometimes or think about. Because at the time we had the conversation, we weren't even at home. It was just thinking about my son's car, the reason it's there, the fact that my son's not here, and just turned on the waterworks. And of course, all of those thoughts were in a split second. It wasn't like we're talking and then I'm thinking, this thought leads to that thought, and it's drawn out. It was in a split second. But now I'm starting to deal with emotions that I would prefer not to. They're also inevitable, but I'm trying my best to fight them off. Over the course of the situation, dealing with my son's death, dealing with the fact that I'm in court every month. I am looking at the young man who killed my son every month. Like literally, when he walks in, he looks directly in my face. I don't know if he knows I'm Miles' mom or not. I would figure he does because I'm at every court date and he doesn't know me. But I've prided myself on not holding animosity against anyone who's connected to him. I don't want it to be families feuding or, I'm beefing with you because your son or your brother or your whomever shot my son. And I've been doing pretty well with that. But the more this court case gets drawn out, I am starting to feel myself get very, very angry. And I'm not a generally angry person, but it's getting a little bit harder to control. Now, of course, I haven't done anything. I'm not trying to fight anybody or anything of that nature. But it's just the feeling, the anger of, honestly, my son being taken away from me so soon. The anger of, yes, your loved one may be taken from you, but he's still alive. You can go visit him in prison. I can only go to a cemetery, and my son's not there. Yeah, his name's there. Yeah, there's flowers there I bring every week. But I can't hear my son's voice. And so that's my issue right now, is dealing with that anger. Because I don't want it to turn into rage. Because I don't know what's going to happen if it gets to that point. I've had to go to court and family members are looking at me crazy like I did something to the young man who shot my son. I don't understand that, but I can't speak for anybody else. But I'm just trying my best to keep calm and to deal with this situation as it comes. And I know it's going to be a long, drawn out situation. So I literally have to tell myself not to be angry. I have to tell myself, you got this. Keep calm, keep cool. Don't let anybody get in your head. Don't let the emotions take over. I just wish I had a little bit more control. I try to stay poised. When I go into court, usually I'm good. Throughout the course of, dealing with the status or the hearing at the moment, I stay pretty calm. And I walk out with my head held high. I usually don't say much to anyone. My mom may be there with me and I'll, discuss with her. But by the time I get to the car, I'm lucky if I can start it right away. I may have to take a moment to compose myself. And I know that that's, I guess, to be expected. But it's just, the emotional roller coaster is just sometimes too much. There's just so many things still. There's so many things that will happen in the future that I wish I could share with my son. I literally text his phone. Luckily, they haven't reassigned his phone number to anyone yet. Or if they did, they're just ignoring me. And I don't know if that's healthy or not. But I don't know any other way. That's how we communicated. That's how I shared news. That's how we kept in touch. He worked nights, and I didn't bother him while I was at work during the day because he was sleeping. So we did a lot of texting, and we met up, weekends or his days off, holidays, of course. So that's one of the things that makes it so hard. Those were the days that I knew I'd see my baby because he made sure he would come to see his mama. I have weird dreams. I don't know if I'd call them nightmares. It's just weird stuff, weird situations, and try to figure out what those dreams mean. And I never really can. But sometimes I wake up and I'm upset. I'm tired of being upset. I'm trying to control this, and it's not working. And I don't know if it's that I just need to go through these emotions, but I'm honestly afraid to. Because the anger and the rage that could come about if I literally allowed myself to fall into those emotions would probably be very scary. And I still have a family. I still have a husband. I still have other sons. So I have to keep it under control to some extent, right? Because if I lose it, then what? Then who's going to be there to make sure there's justice for my baby? Because if I lose it, if I really let it go, it may end up that I'm not here anymore. I'm just being real. And it could be just that I get myself in a situation because I'm so angry. So I have to keep reminding myself of that. I have to keep reminding myself that I'm still here for a reason. I don't understand the reason that my son was taken from me. I don't know if I'll ever understand that. But I'm still here for a reason. I'm still here for a purpose. Some days I wonder what that purpose is. Other days I see how I have encouraged someone or how I have helped someone to keep going. And I think, okay, This is part of the reason I'm still here. Everybody can't deal with what I'm dealing with or what I've dealt with in the manner that I'm dealing with it. But I'm trying my best not to let it go to that other side, because emotions can take over. They can drive you crazy. In this point in my life, if I could be emotionless, I would probably prefer it. It wouldn't hurt so much. But there's other emotions. We want the happiness, right? We want the joy. We want to live life. Even though sometimes in living life and enjoying myself and having fun, I start to feel bad because my baby didn't get to make it to this far. So it's literally a roller coaster. And I'm talking the roller coasters with the highest highs and the drops that's even lower. I remember there used to be this roller coaster, a nearby amusement park, that would go up like 90 some miles and then drop over 100. That's the kind of roller coaster I'm on. I start in one place, go up and then drop. And when I drop, I'm even lower than I started. But eventually, you ever notice how that happens on roller coasters? When it goes up, it creeps. It creeps upward. And then when it drops, it's so fast, and so fast you lose your breath. You're trying to keep yourself from losing your skin, flapping because of the G-force. That's exactly how it is dealing with grief. Getting to those high moments, getting to those positive moments where we're happy and actually enjoying ourselves, we're creeping. Because honestly, to a certain extent, you're afraid to be there. But you finally allow yourself to creep slowly upwards to that high point. And finally, you're there and you're smiling, and everything for that moment is great. And all it takes is a split second, and you just plummet. I understand now why some people would get so sick on roller coasters. I used to be a roller coaster fanatic. I would love the ups and downs, the curves. And nowadays, you couldn't get me. I barely get on a merry-go-round. I'm nowhere near the, I guess, daredevil that I used to be. And it's all because of dealing with the tragedy. I'm so fearful of things now, I get upset with myself. Like, now you know better. Everything, the worst case scenario crosses my mind. Any and everything I do, driving down the street, literally stopped at a red light, still, I can have a fear that someone crossing is somehow going to hit my car. And I hate it. It's all part of the grief process, apparently. But I hate it. I know I can't bring my son back, but I wish somehow emotionally I could be back to where I was before. Not without missing my son and not without understanding that I suffered a loss, but this paranoia and the anger I could do without. I can't explain how weird it is to be driving down the street. I may hear a song. That song drives me to tears. Then I'm angry with myself for crying. Then I'm trying to figure out, why the hell am I angry with myself? Like, the emotions are just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I remember there was a song back in the day, emotions make you sad sometimes. If it was just sad, I probably could be all right. Probably could navigate that. But it's sadness, it's depression, it's anger, it's rage, it's happiness for a hot second, and then it's back to the dark place. And I do everything I can to pull myself up out of those dark places. I am proud of myself there. I just wish I wouldn't frequent them so much. So I know right now, as the holidays are approaching, it's difficult. Whether you lost a loved one last week, last month, last year, years ago, decades ago, it doesn't matter. I've learned that the amount of time means nothing. Because really, for that person, time stopped there. I guess that's why they say, hashtag forever, whatever age the person was. I personally hate that. I just do. I don't know why. I hate for anyone to even say that about my son. Hashtag forever 24. I don't like that. I don't know if it's just because it's the reminder or what, but I'd prefer people not say that. But I'm always, it's my case. I can't speak for anyone else. But to only know that person or have that person for that short number of years, that's all you have. You can't make any new memories. You can't make any new traditions with them. And when you make new traditions, you feel awkward because they're no longer a part of it. So I understand it doesn't matter how long ago they left. It still feels like yesterday. And it's been a year and 4 months for me. It still feels like yesterday. I have literally had days where I've had to stop myself from calling my son. I caught myself one day as I was asking my older son, have you talked to your brother today? And it took me a while to realize, because my oldest son didn't want to trigger me, and he just kind of looked at me. And I didn't even realize what I had said. So it's hard going through day by day, having to remind yourself that someone you love so much was taken from you. Or even someone you loved, if they weren't taken from you, that they're just no longer here. So I get it. Holidays are very difficult. But I promise you, you'll make it through. Because I know I'll make it through. Yes, it's going to be emotional. It's going to be a roller coaster. But we'll make it. It's really the only encouragement I could give right now, because I don't know how happy we'll be making it. I don't know how sad we'll be making it. But we'll make it. Like we've done every other day. Use those memories. And hopefully they will give you comfort to help you make it through what's probably one of the hardest times. I didn't want to do this on this episode, but again, I don't really have control over it like I used to. I pray that your holiday is filled with happiness. Be thankful. Whatever time you had with your loved one, be thankful for the loved ones who are still here with you. And be thankful that you are still here to cherish those memories. We're here every other Friday. Everywhere that you listen to podcasts, you can watch us on Spotify and YouTube. Please email me if you have a topic you'd like to discuss, or if you would like to join the podcast as a guest. We would love to have you. Also, watch our Facebook page for the We Are Mighty podcast. You'll see a picture of me. I really hope you enjoy your holiday. In all that you do, be true to yourself, be strong, and be mighty. We'll see you next time.
They won't stop me now, they won't stop me now, they won't stop me, no. They won't stop me now, they won't stop me now, they won't stop me, no.